We have put the art of allowing in this order, following the law of attraction first, and the science of deliberate creation second, because the art of allowing cannot begin to be understood until the first two are. What we mean by the art of allowing is, I am that which I am, and I am pleased with it, joyful in it, and you are that which you are, and while it is different perhaps from that which I am, it is also good, because I am able to focus upon that which I want, even if there are those differences between us that are dramatic. I do not suffer negative emotion, because I am wise enough not to focus upon that which brings me discomfort. I have come to understand, as I am one who is applying the art of allowing, that I have not come forth into this physical world to get everyone to follow the truth that I think is the truth. I have not come forth to encourage conformity or sameness, for I am wise enough to understand that in sameness, in conformity, there is not a diversity that stimulates creativity. In focusing upon bringing about conformity, I am pointed toward an ending rather than a continuing of creation. And so, the art of allowing is absolutely essential to the continuation or the survival of this species, of this planet, and of this universe, and that continuation is powerfully allowed from the broader perspective of Source. You, from your physical perspective, may not be allowing your own expansion, and when you do not, you feel rotten, and when you do not allow another, you feel rotten. When you see a situation that bothers you and you decide that you will do nothing to try to stop it or change it, you are tolerating the situation. That is very different from what we mean by allowing. Allowing is the art of finding a way of looking at things that still allows your connection to your inner being at the same time. It is achieved by selectively sifting through the data of your time-space reality and focus upon things that feel good. It is all about using your emotional guidance system to help you determine the direction of your thoughts. For certainly, if you do not understand how something is coming onto you, then you are fearful of it. If you do not understand that others cannot come into your experience unless you invite them through thought, then of course you would worry about what others are doing. But when you understand that nothing will come into your experience unless you invite it through your thought, with emotional thought and a great expectation, then unless you actually accomplish this delicate creative balance, you will not receive it. When you understand these powerful universal laws, you no longer feel a need for walls, barricades, armies, walls, or jails, for you understand that you are free to create your world as you want it to be, while others are creating their world as they choose it to be, and their choices don't threaten you. You cannot enjoy your absolute freedom without this knowledge. In this physical world, there are those things that you are in absolute harmony with, and there are those things that you are in absolute disharmony with, and there is some of everything in between. But you have not come forth to destroy or contain that which you do not agree with, for that is a continually changing thing. Instead, you have come forth to identify, moment by moment, segment by segment, day by day, and year by year, what it is you want, and to use the power of your thought to focus upon it, and to allow the power of the law of attraction to draw it unto you. The reason most are not willing to allow what others are doing is because, in their lack of understanding of the law of attraction, they incorrectly believe that unwanted experience can seep or jump into their experience, as they live unwanted experiences or see others doing so. They assume that, since no one would deliberately choose these bad experiences, the threat must be real. They fear that if others are allowed to behave in that way, it will spread into their own experience, in their lack of understanding of the law of attraction. They feel defensive and vulnerable, so walls are constructed and armies are assembled from this place of vulnerability, but to no avail. For pushing against these unwanted things only produces more of them. We are not offering these words so that you may free your world from all of its contrast, for the very contrast you would like to eliminate is responsible for the expansion of all that is. We offer these words because we understand that it is possible for you to live joyful lives amidst the enormous variety that exists. These words are being offered to assist you in finding the personal freedom that you will experience only when you understand and apply the laws of the universe. Until the first two laws are understood and applied, the art of allowing cannot be understood or applied, for it is not possible for you to be willing to allow others until you understand that what they do and what they say need not affect you, because your feeling, one that comes from the very core of your being, is so very powerful that, because you want to preserve your own self, you cannot and will not allow one who threatens that. These laws that we are presenting to you are eternal, which means that they are forever. These laws are universal, which means that they are everywhere. They are absolute, whether you know that they are or not. They exist, whether you accept that they exist or not. And they influence your life, whether you know that they do or not. When we use the word law, we are not referring to the earthly agreements that many of you term law. You have the law of gravity, and you have the law of time and space, and you have many laws, even laws regarding the controlling of your traffic and the behavior of your citizens. But when we use the word law, we are speaking of those everlasting, ever-present universal laws. And there are not as many of them as you might believe there are. If you will come to understand and apply these three basic laws, you will have an understanding of how your universe functions. You will have an understanding of how everything that comes into your experience comes. You will recognize that you are the inviter, the creator, and attractor of all things that come to you, and you will indeed then have deliberate control of your own life experience. And in all of that, you will then and only then feel free. For freedom comes from an understanding of how you get what you get. Here, we will express the rules of our game of physical experience, and we do so enthusiastically, because they are the same rules of the game of all life, whether it is physical life experience or non-physical life experience. The most powerful law in the universe, the law of attraction, simply says that which is like unto itself is strong. You may have noticed that when bad things begin to happen in your life, it seems that everything starts to go wrong. But when you wake up in the morning feeling good, you have a happier life. However, when you begin a day with a fight with someone, you find that the rest of your day is negative in many regards. That is your awareness of the law of attraction. And indeed, everything that you are experiencing, from the most obvious to the most subtle, is influenced by this powerful law. When you think about something that pleases you, by the law of attraction, other thoughts that are similar to it will begin to come forth. When you think of something that displeases you, by the law of attraction, other thoughts that are like that will begin to come forth until you find yourself reaching into your past for similar thoughts. And you will find yourself discussing them with others until you are surrounded by a larger and a larger, ever-growing larger thought. And as the thought is growing larger and larger, it is gaining momentum. It is gaining power, attraction power. An understanding of this law will put you in a position where you may decide to focus your thoughts only in the direction of what you want to attract into your experience. While you may decide to take your attention from those thoughts that you do not want to draw into your experience. Now the law of deliberate creation is described in this way. That which I give thought to, I begin to attract. That which I give thought to, that brings forth strong emotion. I attract more quickly, and once I have launched it, powerfully by giving thought that evokes emotion, then as I'd expect that which I have thought about it, I get it. The balance of deliberate creation is decided, so to speak. On one hand is the thought, and on the other hand is the expectancy or the belief or the allowing. And so, when you have given thought to something that are now expecting it or believing that it will be, now you are in a perfect position to receive the subject of your thought. That is why you get what you think about. Whether you want it or not, your thoughts are powerful, attracting magnets, attracting one to another. Thoughts attracting to themselves, and you attract the thoughts by giving your attention to them. It is usually easier to see these laws at work when you look into others' experiences. You will notice that those who speak most of prosperity have it. Those who speak most of health have it. Those who speak most of sickness have it. Those who speak most of poverty have it. It is law. It can be no other way. The way you feel is your point of attraction, and so the law of attraction is most understood when you see yourself as a magnet, getting more and more of the way you feel. When you feel lonely, you attract more loneliness. When you feel poor, you attract more poverty. When you feel sick, you attract more sickness. When you feel unhappy, you attract more unhappiness. When you feel healthy and vital and alive and prosperous, you attract more of all of those things.